or maybe we should say beyond the whistle this morning, the Seattle Seawolves are a professional rugby team. And that team won 2 Major League Rugby championships back in 2018 and 2019, lost in the 2022 and 24 finals. Holly Menino spoke with 2 players on that team about the current season.
The Seattle Seawolves is Seattle's professional rugby team, and they have already kicked off their season this year. Joining me now are 2 of the players, Devin Short and Jade Stickleen. Thank you so much for joining me, you 2.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Tell me about the Seattle Seawolves, founded in 2017.
So Seattle Seawolves been in 5 finals of the 7 that's been in the MLR since the inception of the league. And I feel like we've been searching for the 3rd title. We've been in the championship last year and unfortunately lost in the final. So looking to for a little bit of redemption this year.
And you've taken home 2 MLR championships, 2018, 2019. You 2 weren't on the team then, but Devin, you were saying you were actually playing the Seawolves at the time. Your team lost, the Seawolves won.
Yeah, so I played for San Diego Legion from 2018 to 2020, and you know, of course, we went to the championship 2019. You know, unfortunately, we lost to the famous maul at the end of the game, but you know, now I'm on the good side.
That's right. We're glad you're on our team. Why do you both love to play rugby?
I love rugby. You know, what made me fall in love with the game was actually not the game itself, but like the culture of it. You know, meeting people from all over the world. You know, we come together after games and we'll have a beer, we'll have some food, we'll talk. So now I have friends all over the league, all over the world. You know, just from playing this one sport. You know, of course, the game itself is actually a lot more my style. Like, I grew up playing football. I played a lot of different sports and, you know, never had the ability to actually play rugby because we didn't know about it. Where now I found the game and it's allowed me to be the athlete I've always wanted to be. And I feel like there's a lot of kids who kind of face the same thing that I have. And that's what really made me fall in love with it.
Jade, what about you?
Growing up, I feel like I was just a bit of a rough kid. So being a rough sport, I absolutely loved it. Just I love the contact, love running with the ball. I feel like the camaraderie around rugby as well. You might be enemies on the field, but off the field, everyone gets along quite well.
It's a good fit for you. Okay, Devin, you broke your hand 10 minutes into the Western Conference and then played for another 50 minutes. Jade, what would you say about your teammate, Devin?
I feel like if we had more Devins on the team, we would definitely ski a couple of teams away. But yeah, he's an absolute machine. I feel like it goes to show he played in the final with a broken hand. He played in the semi-final with a broken hand, and he just strapped it and he carried on like as if nothing happened. Yeah.
My goodness. Okay, and Jade, you're known as the smiling assassin. So, Devin, what would you say about your teammate?
He's a speedster, man. Get the ball in his hand, and it's gonna take at least 3 guys to take him down. You know, get him on the edge. He's breaking the line. He's gonna, you know, he's gonna make something happen. So, you know, it's a blessing to have him on the team, and he's gonna, you know, continue to do his thing. And I love playing on the edge with him because we make things happen, and that's what you need.
What can we expect from the Seawolves this season?
We expect to be in another final this year, hopefully winning it this year, especially since we lost out on the final last year.
Absolutely. You know, a little bit of a rough start, you know, but that comes with anything, you know. A little bit of adversity really can pick the guys up, and we have a really, really good group of guys. So where I think once we really find our niche, we're going to be unstoppable.
What would you tell people that have never been to a rugby game? Why should people come and watch?
I say just come. You know, I've been saying this since I started my career. It's one of the most entertaining sports in the world, you know, and it's so fast-paced, it's hard-hitting, and, you know, I know everyone here loves their football, baseball, basketball, and take all 3 of those and put them into one game, put it in 80 minutes, you know, that's what rugby is. So if you're able to come out, I just say come to one game, you know, and if you just come to one, I think you'll get bit by the bug.
Yeah, I feel like the fans are absolutely electric at Starfire. I feel like just that crowd being there will absolutely, it'll bite you and then you'll come to more games.
There's a real experience that fans can have when they go to a rugby game. Tell me about how players are so accessible to fans and the things that fans can do.
I feel like it's a whole day event. I feel like the fans can approach and interact with a lot of the players before the game. We have a cool initiative where we do run with the pack. So we get kids involved in rugby and get their rugby knowledge so that they look forward to playing rugby later on in life. And we have a lot of food trucks and a lot of family events, something cool to experience.
And Devin, what would you say about the fan experience? I mean, it sounds like fans can really get up close with the players and, you know, get an autograph.
Yeah, so after the games, usually all the fans, they can come down from the stands and you kind of line up the field. You can come on the field and all the players come by, we'll shake hands, you know, sign autographs, you know, become pretty close with a lot of the fans just because of the kind of experience after we're being able to interact and stuff like that. So it's, I think it's different than a lot of the other sports, because a lot of the other sports, the players kind of just like go and do their own thing after the game, stuff like that, where we try to bring the fans in and like you're part of the team.
Why is that important? Why is that important to you as players, that you maybe integrate your fans in more of an experience?
I think it grows the passion, right? It grows the passion and the actual like excitement to be able to be like, I can go shake the hand of my favorite player at the end of the game, you know, where a lot of the time, you know, you could buy jerseys and you can kind of like see the interviews and all this stuff, but you can never actually interact with the actual player themselves. So that's kind of what sets us apart.
Yeah, and I feel like the fans are really involved. Like, by them screaming next to the field, it really lifts our spirits on the field, especially when things are going tough.
Absolutely.
I feel like having them on the side of the field definitely changes games sometimes.
The Seawolves chant.
Seawolves
boys going for sure.
They play a big part in your success.
Absolutely.
And we've got a professional team with the Seattle Seawolves, so go and support them. You can watch their games at Starfire. And we will post a link to our website, komonews.com/hotlinks, to get their schedule and for more information.
I just got to mention, I've been to a game before. It is really fun to watch, and then once it's over, the players will come over and say hi to all the fans, which is really fun for the kids as they're watching the game there. As Holly just mentioned, you can find the Seawolves schedule and other information on attending matches on our website, which is komonews.com/hotlinks. All you have to do is scan that QR code in the corner of your screen using your smartphone's camera, and you're going to find a link to the Seawolves website, and go Seawolves. Get that championship. We're going to take a look.